In the endless sands of ancient Egypt, beneath the scorching sun and the ever-watchful gaze of the monumental pyramids, rests the forgotten legacy of a queen long overlooked by history. Her name was Merneith, a name that, though echoed quietly through the annals of time, once carried immense power and influence. Merneith was the proud granddaughter of Menes, also known as Narmer, the legendary unifier of Upper and Lower Egypt, and the beloved daughter of Pharaoh Jur, who had marked his reign with significant military conquests and administrative developments. However, despite her prestigious lineage and her impactful role in the dynastic lineage of early Egypt, the pages of history sought to erase every trace of Merneith's existence. Although she possibly served as regent for her young son, Den, and thus arguably one of the earliest female rulers, her life, once vibrant and full of significance, has been buried deep beneath layers of silence and obscurity. This concealment could have been the result of various factors, from political rivalries to the patriarchal values that shaped historical narratives. Yet Merneith's story, once unearthed, holds the promise of revealing the overlooked contributions of women in antiquity, challenging the traditional narratives that have long overlooked her legacy. Until this moment, Merneith had been nurtured in the vibrant city of Memphis, a magnificent metropolis that seemed to have been hewn straight from the very heart of the Nile River itself. This ancient city was a testament to architectural grandeur and human ingenuity, with its immense palaces standing tall, their gleaming white walls reaching majestically toward the sky. Each palace was like a jewel, a beacon of the city's wealth and cultural richness. Within these grand structures, the interiors were a riot of vibrant colors, a dazzling spectacle for anyone fortunate enough to step inside. The chambers were adorned with intricate murals and decorations, filled with every imaginable shade. Each hue was carefully chosen to reflect the grandeur and opulence of the royal inhabitants, making the interiors not just homes but masterpieces of artistic expression. These vivid colors, combined with the intricate carvings and lavish decorations, created an atmosphere of divine royalty and timeless beauty, illustrating the luxurious lifestyle of those who lived within. Every room of the palace softly whispered secrets of power and influence, a testament to the myriad of historical decisions and political moves made within its walls. The air was filled with the combined rich fragrances of polished wood, which highlighted the grandeur of the interior furnishings, and delicate flowers, meticulously arranged to add a touch of natural beauty and opulence. Servants moved gracefully, attending to the minutest of details as they diligently massaged scented oils into the skin of the royal family each day, ensuring it remained radiant and smooth. In the sprawling courtyards, the children played freely, their laughter echoing against the high walls, a sharp contrast to the world of governance inside. Within the expansive rooms, Senate boards lay covered with detailed plans, maps, and documents, while the sides of the room bustled with advisors and officials in negotiations. The clinking of pens and the rustle of parchment filled the atmosphere between quiet moments of strategic planning, which were punctuated by insightful suggestions and decisive commands. Merneith, a keen observer, watched the rulers in action, her eyes following every subtle gesture, every decision they made. She absorbed the nuances of their behavior, learning not just from their words, but from the intricate dance of diplomacy and leadership that unfolded before her. Merneith's curiosity and sharp intellect drove her to understand the motives behind each action, the web of alliances, and the layers of strategy that dictated the course of the kingdom's future. With each passing moment, she became more attuned to the delicate balance of authority and the art of governance. Then, chaos suddenly struck the grand palace, upending the calm that had reigned under Pharaoh Ger's rule. The beloved and influential leader's death left a gaping void at the heart of the kingdom, one that no amount of mourning could fill. Without the steady hand of Pharaoh Ger to guide them, the entire realm trembled in uncertainty and fear, as the future of the dynasty hung precariously in the balance. A fierce struggle for power erupted among the former allies. Brothers who once stood united by blood and shared history now found themselves embroiled in bitter and ruthless rivalry. The once harmonious halls of the palace echoed with the sounds of conflict and betrayal. The throne, which had once been passed down through orderly succession and peace, now became the prize of violent ambition. In a brutal contest fueled by greed and the lust for power, bloodshed and violence replaced the rightful and peaceful transition of power. Each sibling vied for dominance, rallying their loyalists and plotting to outmaneuver one another. The palace, which had once been a symbol of unity and governance, was now torn apart by the unrest within its walls. Ultimately, it was Merneith's brother, Jet, who overcame his siblings through cunning strategy and sheer force. Emerging victorious from the chaos, Jet claimed himself king, his ascent marking the dawn of a new contentious era for the kingdom. The once prosperous land now stood at the brink of further turmoil, with Jet's rule shadowed by the bitterness and betrayal that had paved his path to power. But with his arrival, a wave of terror followed, casting a dark shadow over the land. With him, the Grim Reaper claimed 600 lives, who were interred beside the man known as Ger. These 600 were not just numbers, but individuals who fell victim to the merciless demands of conflict and power struggles. Each was a testament to the high cost of ambition, where human life often became collateral damage. Merneith, by a stroke of fate or sheer resilience, narrowly managed to evade the same doom. In a time when royal women were treated as little more than instruments of political maneuvering, they seldom survived the ferocious battles that accompanied dynastic ambition. They were pawns in a lethal game of chess, often sacrificed to secure alliances or eliminate threats to the throne. Despite these odds, Merneith emerged from the chaos not just as a survivor, but as a woman whose very existence defied the expected narrative. She was ultimately destined to become the wife of Jet, a role that would shape not just her future, but potentially that of the entire realm. Her journey from near oblivion to becoming a pivotal figure in the court highlighted the unpredictable and perilous path of those entwined in the web of royal intrigue. He seized power as regent, stepping boldly into a role traditionally reserved for kings in a male-dominated society. A queen in a world dominated by kings, her ascent to power was no small feat, demanding not just political cunning, but also a will of iron. Her tenure was characterized by a steel resolve that brooked no opposition, making her both respected and feared. Her reign was seen as a period of unwavering strength and determination in the face of challenges. The burial of Jet had always been a brutal affair, a ceremony steeped in harsh traditions that reflected a rigid adherence to customs, emphasizing aspects of severity and loss. It was perhaps a reflection of the world's unforgiving nature, a ritual that left little room for empathy or change. Yet, Merneith, with her persuasive power and visionary outlook, transformed this harsh ritual into something altogether different. She reshaped the ceremony, infusing it with a sense of renewal and meaning that went beyond mere tradition. Instead of a display of severity, it became a reflection of compassion and a testament to her ability to reshape societal norms and rituals. Through her actions, she not only changed a ritual but possibly began to shift the culture itself, leaving a lasting legacy of change and progress. She made decisions with the authority and grandeur of a pharaoh. Embracing her role with confidence and wisdom, she governed over matters that shaped the very fabric of the ancient civilization. In times of war, she was the strategist, making calculated moves to defend and expand the kingdom's borders. In the realm of justice, her judgments were keen, equitable, and often harsh, yet fair, ensuring the laws were upheld without corruption or favoritism. Her leadership extended to the crafting of laws that would leave a lasting impact on her nation, setting a foundation for a flourishing society. She was not just a figurehead, but a true leader who commanded respect across all levels of society. Under her regency, the kingdom found much-needed stability during a time of turmoil. Her foresight and decisiveness transformed a period that could have unraveled into chaos into one marked by peace and development. Her governance allowed the kingdom to thrive, even as she prepared the young heir, Den, to one day take the throne. When Den finally came of age, the transfer of power was seamless. Thanks to her diligent guidance and effective rule, the transition occurred without any internal strife or external threat, a testimony to her diplomatic acumen and statesmanship. Yet, despite her remarkable achievements, the records of history were unkind. Her name, once revered, was deliberately erased by those who chronicled the past, leaving her legacy to be forgotten, a victim of the political and social vicissitudes of her time. Even as her accomplishments fade into obscurity, the remnants of her rule continue to subtly shape the kingdom, a silent testament to her enduring influence. She was given the title of regent, a role that denoted her power was intended to be temporary and was overshadowed by the expectation that a male heir would eventually assume the throne. Despite her effective leadership and the accomplishments during her tenure, she was never officially honored as queen. Her status and her contributions were largely neglected in the annals of history, which predominantly celebrated and remembered the names of men. Women's roles and achievements, particularly in leadership, were often minimized, overlooked, or erased, leaving their legacies buried beneath the shifting sands of time. It was only long after her death that the true significance of her rule and the impact she had made became apparent. Her burial in the sacred and ancient city of Abydos was a testament to her importance, even if it was not recognized during her lifetime, with honors truly fit for kings and rulers of the highest order. The queen's send-off was nothing short of magnificent. Her final resting place, a sacred chamber, was adorned with gleaming whitewashed walls, reflecting a purity and grandeur reserved for the divine. This chamber was not just a resting place, but a monument to her life and the esteem in which she was held. In celebration of her legacy, elaborate feasts were organized, showcasing the finest culinary offerings of the time. These feasts symbolized her importance, bringing together nobles, dignitaries, and common folk alike to pay tribute through the joys of communal dining and the sharing of stories. In a solemn tribute to her esteemed status, 41 individuals were laid to rest alongside her, an honor indicating their close connection to the royal court, perhaps as loyal servants or trusted advisors. This act of burial alongside her in the chamber underscored the deep respect and reverence, ensuring they would serve her even in the afterlife. Moreover, the grandeur of her burial was further extended beyond the sacred chamber. 79 more individuals were buried in trenches just outside the tomb's walls, creating an outer ring of attendants who would eternally guard and honor her memory. The splendor of her tomb was meticulously crafted to rival even that of a mighty pharaoh's resting place. This comparison elevates her status to that of the most powerful and revered leaders in ancient history. The tomb was a symbol of wealth, power, and divine right, ensuring that her memory would endure throughout the ages, much like the mighty pharaohs who had ruled before her. The title of King's Mother carries with it a historical significance that has transcended centuries, immortalizing her story. This title signifies her not only as the mother of a king, but also as a pivotal figure whose influence and legacy have weathered the trials of time. Despite the anonymity often forced upon women in historical accounts, her story survived and stands out vividly to us today. Beyond the mere role of being a king's mother, she was a queen in her own right, a regent who took on the mantle of leadership and a warrior who protected her realm and her child. Her story is a rich tapestry of power, grace, and resilience, embodying the multifaceted roles she played, whether in court, on the battlefield, or within the intimate bounds of her family. This is why her memory endures. She was a figure of immense historical importance. Her life and legacy continue to captivate and inspire, offering a powerful narrative of female strength and influence. Queen Merneith's reign was marked by her undeniable fortitude and a vision that transformed her realm. She rose to power amidst great turmoil and devastation, where many saw insurmountable ruin. Yet through her unyielding commitment, she rebuilt not only the physical structures of her dominion, but also the morale and unity of her people. Her governance was defined by a justice that was both fair and fierce, ensuring prosperity and security for all under her rule. Despite her monumental achievements, the sands of time almost buried her legacy. Forces that sought to erase her name from history underestimated the power of her story. Yet those who recognized the importance of her contributions refused to let her be forgotten. They carry her story, spreading it far and wide, ensuring that her memory is preserved and her impact recognized by future generations. Queen Merneith was one of many powerful African queens who shaped the course of history, building civilizations and legacies that demand recognition. Their stories are rich with triumph, resilience, and lessons that should never be overlooked or forgotten. Long live the memory of Queen Merneith, whose indomitable spirit continues to inspire and endure through the ages. Her legacy is a beacon, reminding the world of the profound impact of African queens and the indomitable will of womankind.